Accents can get in the way when it comes to artificial intelligence.
Hi, I'm Darcy.
Darby Town Council was so proud of Darcy, its new AI assistant. Unfortunately, Darcy had never encountered the Darby accent, as local BBC radio host Becky Measures discovered.
Who do we report potholes to? Because we've got a big one outside here.
Your message was blocked by our content filter. This may be due to language.
Local politicians admit Darcy may need a tweak or two.
Darcy, you've been great. Thank you so much and have a great day.
Please wait while I process your request.
Vicky Barker, CBS News, London.
A man from East Detroit's been granted his dying wish days after 58-year-old car wash owner Daryl Thomas died of complications from Alzheimer's. His family made it rain. They dropped $5,000 along with some rose petals from a helicopter. It all floated onto mourners below who cheered as they scooped up the bills from the streets. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
This is Bloomberg Intelligence with Paul Sweeney.
The real outperformance has been the U.S. corporate high yield. These are two big-time blue-chip companies. One person's chaos is another person's animal spirits.
Breaking market headlines and corporate news from across the globe.
Our view is that the economy is slowing down.
There is the possibility of a death spiral.
Both quantum computing and AI are going to power the future.
People are just buying everything with tech.
Bloomberg Intelligence with Paul Sweeney on Bloomberg Radio, YouTube, and Bloomberg Originals.
And this is Bloomberg Intelligence. Welcome to Fill In Friday. I'm John Tucker with Isabel Lee as Paul plays beach blanket bingo this Friday. The S&P 500 did hit its fifth record high in 9 trading days yesterday. Right now, the major stock average is lower to end the week, and this comes after President Trump ramped up his rhetoric and made a few more threats. Earnings season starting in earnest next week. We'll preview that on today's program. We're also going to debrief Dan Flatley of Bloomberg News on the new tariff threat. Woo Jin Ho, Bloomberg Intelligence Senior Tech Analyst, he's going to be here to deliver his mid-year outlook. And even waiting for this one, how the world's going to spend $500 billion on pets. Yeah, you heard that right. But first, let's get a market reset with Bloomberg's Charlie Pill.
Right, thank you very much, John Tucker. Fill in Friday here. We've got the Dow, the S&P, NASDAQ all lower. S&P retreated from yesterday's rally. S&P right now down 26, drop there of 0.4%. This Bloomberg Business Flash brought to you by IBKR. Will the U.S. retail sales growth rate be higher than 1.5% in June of 2025? At IBKR forecast trader, the yes recently at 11%. Start predicting today at ibkr.com/forecast. Last trading day for this contract is July 17th. Bottom line here, stocks retreating from records as President Trump intensifies his trade offensive, sending the dollar higher against most of the world's major currencies. Again, the S&P 500 index off session lows, still down 0.4%. The Dow down 245, down 0.5. NASDAQ lower right now by 0.2%. 10-year 4.40%. The 2-year 3.90%. Gold is surging $29 the ounce, up by 0.9%, while West Texas Intermediate crude $67.77 a barrel, up now by 1.8%. As for the overall market backdrop, Cameron Dawson is Chief Investment Officer at New Edge Wealth. She was a guest this morning on Bloomberg Surveillance.
There still is so much concern out there. If you look at investor sentiment, if you look at overall consolidated positioning, this is not in a market that is as ebullient as you might expect given where we are with all-time highs. So that just might mean that we have this ever pull higher in markets even as we get this tariff headline, which seems to be catching people off guard.
Cam Dawson of New Edge on Surveillance. Tesla aiming to bring its driverless taxis to California and Arizona. According to the carmaker's plans for expansion, Tesla shares little changed right now, down less than 0.1%. Recapping, S&P down 0.4%. And for on-demand news 24 hours a day, subscribe to Bloomberg News now wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Charlie Pellet. That is a Bloomberg Business Flash.
All right, Charlie Pellet, thanks very much. I'm John Tucker along with Isabel Lee. This is Bloomberg Intelligence, the Friday edition. Right now, let's take a look under the hood, some of the stocks on the move today. We're joined by Bloomberg's Christina Kino. Friday, so I got my jeans on. dressing down today.
Yeah,
you can't see him.
That's good to hear, because I want to talk about Levi Strauss, ticker LEVI. So those shares really ramping it up this morning. They have extended their opening gains to more than 8% now, and that's because we did get some really good results from them after the bell on Thursday. They boosted their net revenue forecast for the full year. Company now seeing revenue rising between 1% and 2% for the current fiscal year, which is above the average analyst estimate. And now additional insight from our Bloomberg Intelligence senior analyst Mary Ross Gilbert, saying that the brand is really resonating with millennials and Gen Z and John Tucker, apparently. And growth is accelerating in women's and new categories. I'm sure Beyonce's endorsement also helps, right?
Because when you think Gen Z, you think about me, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. What about Coinbase? Bitcoin is close to 120,000, which is another record if they hit that. What's happening in Coinbase?
Yeah, Coinbase definitely benefiting from those Bitcoin gains, Isabel. So Coinbase ticker COIN. We're seeing those shares up just a little bit today, 0.6%. But I want to focus on a weekly move, right? Because
well, Isabel, Christine, let's first off head to the White House. President Trump on his way to visit the flood devastation in Texas. Before that, he did stop with reporters and had a few comments. Let's listen in.
Maybe at some point I'll talk to him. Right now, I'm not. They're treating President Bolsonaro very unfairly. He's a good man. You know, I know him well. I negotiated with him. He was a very tough negotiator, and I can tell you he was a very honest man, and he loved the people of Brazil. He was a very tough guy to negotiate with. I shouldn't like him because he was very tough in negotiation, but he was also very honest. And I know the honest ones, and I know the crooked ones. We're going to see. It was sent yesterday. They called. I think it was fairly well received. It's what we need. So we'll see what happens.
Russian drones hit a maternity hospital in Ukraine overnight.
I know. You'll be seeing things happen.
Now that you got to take that, are you planning on delivering any type of help for undocumented families that lost everything, including their children?
I think we've done very well on immigration. We were given a very bad hand by Biden. He allowed 25 million people to come in totally unchecked, unvetted. We're getting the criminals out, and we're getting them out fast. The courts have ultimately done the right thing. Amazingly, they've really done the right thing, and they understand it's really the survival of our country. It's a very important thing. We can't have like 11,888 murderers. And, you know, something that you should have that you haven't reported. As you know, 300,000 children are missing, right? 300,000 under Biden. We've already gotten back 10,000 of those children, and we have a lot more planned to come back. We're getting them back by the thousands, but 300,000, and we've, as of this morning, over 10,000 we've gotten back.
What is your advice to countries worldwide ahead of the upcoming tariff deadline?
Oh, I think just keep working hard. You know, we've been taken advantage of for many, many years by countries, both friend and foe. And frankly, the friends have been worse than the foes in many cases. So I would say just keep working. It's all going to work out. No. I think he's doing a terrible job. I think we should be, I think we should be 3 points lower interest rate. He's costing our country a lot of money. We should be #1, and we're not. And that's because of Jerome Powell. In terms of interest, we are #1 in the world. Look, I'll tell you a little simple language. 1 year ago, our country was a dead country. We were going nowhere except down. We were the laughing stock all over the world. And now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. We're #1 everywhere, anywhere in the world. And that's all they're talking about is our country. 1 year ago, it was a dead country. Now it's the hottest country anywhere in the world. Thank you.
All right, President Trump makes his comments to reporters at the White House just before he boarded the Marine One there. The president and the First Lady departing D.C. en route to Kerrville, Texas. They're going to visit, of course, the communities impacted by the flooding. He did earlier sign a disaster declaration for the area. I'm John Tucker. This is Bloomberg Intelligence, along with Isabel Lee.
Let's bring in Dan Flatley to maybe tell us more about that. He's Bloomberg U.S. Treasury reporter. We know President Donald Trump threatened a 35% tariff on Canadian goods and raised the prospect of increasing levies all over the world. So, Dan, the Canada letter is a big shock for the Canadian economy, according to some of our sources. And it does look like the negotiations between Trump and Canada really didn't pan out. So what is the lesson you're learning here?
Well, you know, it's interesting. We had a story last night. My colleague Ed Ludlow and I did some reporting on what Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent was telling some folks at the Sun Valley conference over the last couple of days. And one of the acronyms that Bessent used was, you know, he sort of pushed back on this idea of the taco trade. Trump always chickens out, and he called it the FAFO trade. You know, for people who are spending a lot of time online, you might guess what the first, you know, word there means, but basically mess around and find out. And so I think what is happening here is Trump is trying to give himself some additional leverage as these talks kind of continue and actually in some cases sort of drag on. The deadline has been extended now to August 1st as we're learning, but there are some letters that have gone out increasing and setting tariff rates, and there are some others with Canada, China, Mexico, Japan, others where deals are still being worked on. And so I think generally when you look at what's going on here, we're certainly going to end up at the end of the day with a higher average tariff rate across all countries that send their goods to the U.S. Where that ultimately ends up with some of these individual countries, I think, are subject to ongoing negotiations. So, you know, there's a little bit of confusion at the moment, but certainly the president seeking to give himself some more leverage with these talks.
And at the intersection of tariffs and the markets, Dan, the president seems to be emboldened by the fact that we had a record close for the S&P 500 yesterday.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, I was sort of looking at the markets before I came on and seeing a bit of a sell-off in all of the indices at the moment. But you're right. Yesterday, even as this tariff rhetoric was ramping up a bit, you did see a record close for the S&P, and obviously we've had some records or close to records or records surpassed over the last couple of weeks with some of the other indices. It's a very interesting mix, obviously. I think that there is still a presumption among folks that a combination of cuts from the Federal Reserve and some deals being cut before the end of the year give a bit of a lift to the market in a way that could go sideways if some of these negotiations don't go well. And I would mention, you know, China as being kind of one of the big negotiations that's still out there. You know, we've climbed down from that really high tariff rate that was set in April, but we could go back there if those negotiations don't go well.
We initially thought China will feel the most pain here, but China and Canada are roughly on the same page when it comes to tariff rate. How do we make sense of this, and what does it look like for China moving forward based on what your sources are telling you?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think you can really only, one of the things that President Trump's advisors, including the Treasury Secretary, really try to underscore in a lot of their interviews and when they talk to folks is that, you know, they offer the president options, but ultimately it's up to the president to decide what he wants to do. And you've seen this with Brazil and President Trump's comments just there a moment ago, where he was talking about the targeting or what he called the targeting of the former president there. So, you know, there is an economic rationale, there's a national security rationale, there's an economic security rationale to some of these tariffs, but there's also an element of personal bias, I guess, is basically the only way to describe it when it comes to what the president wants to do. So, you know, ultimately with Canada or with Brazil or with some of these countries, the president may say, look, you know, I understand what my advisors are telling me with regard to a certain tariff level, but from my perspective, I believe it should be 5, 10, 20 points higher because of X, Y, and Z, and it's different in each case. So
Yo. Is this the master?
No, actually, I don't know. I don't think so.
How many bedrooms is this?
I think two or three. Yeah, 3. Oh wait, no, that is the master. And these small ass bedrooms. This is bigger than what I can.
This is like the size of my bedroom when I moved to AZ for the first time. It's tiny, bro.
Cool. And then the last one. To be honest, I don't want to be. I think everything looks fine.
Were the tenants like adults?
Yeah, but they had a dog. Oh, a big dog. But everything looks fine. My grab. You're on my property.
What are you gonna do about it?
Everyone that comes in has to kiss me.
Cut cams.
Bro, you got a PS5. Bro, you know I won my first game of Fall Guys last night. First game in years, bro.
Fall Guys?
Yeah. Bro.
You're an NPC, bro. Fall Guys?
Yeah, I play video games. You know why? Because I'm fucking rich. That's how I got rich, actually. Don't forget. When I was in Chronic, you were a Chronic grinder. And you know what? We never let you in for a reason. Because we knew that you had better things going for you.
Get it, damn it.
Dude, imagine you joined Chronic, you would have never gotten into freelance grand scaling. True? You would have been some washed up Fortnite player trying to compete for $200 cash cups right now. So, technically, you're welcome. Isn't that crazy, bro? Like, actually.
Yeah, no, it is. Like in the NFT days, I was watching your shit. Full circle, bro.
Yeah. This means one day I'll be hanging out with Iman Gaji. Because I used to. No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
For real?
I swear.
What did he say?
He was just like, crushing it, bro. Keep up the good work.
Really? Bro, that's not getting spoke.
Yeah, I know. That's, bro, so many full circle moments like that of people that I've hung out with now that it's like, not that I haven't hung out with Iman, but other people that I used to watch and look up to and shit starting. Now it's like, those people hit me up, I hang out with them. It's crazy.
Wait, what just happened here?
1300. He asked, I'm worried that I'm gonna get wet and I have like expensive clothes on, and he was like, how much are your jeans? And I was like, 13. He thought I meant 1300, and they're 13K.
Bro, that's crazy.
And we're about to go fucking through the weeds and shit on a what type of boat is this called?
Like an airboat.
An airboat.
Gonna do some Floridian shit, bro.
Yeah, this is some real country boy shit. I'm ready, man. I'm gonna fuck up a gator. Gators ain't got shit on.
Shotgun, I have like the perfect right now.
Yeah, we should have brought shotguns and just fucking.
Chris, how many gators did you get down? I can't. Are we gonna get wet? No? Not our clothes? Oh, okay. Cool. Alright, cool. Yep, we gotta fill out waivers.
I just came off it.
Oh, you're fine.
I got, like she said, spray.
Cool,
Okay.
cool.
Oh, he got sprayed though.
Boys walking in for me, let me get my high-tech, state-of-the-art, top-of-the-line security system. Please, after you, my friend. High-tech, I know. Designed by you.
Type shit. Oh, this shit looks lit, bro. Come on, Josh.
All right. Got headphones and stuff too?
Yo, be honest, how goofy do I look? I don't want it to fly off.
You don't look goofy.
You look good?
No, you look retarded on camera, but.
Okay. Put it on.
Yo, what's up, boys?
These will keep.
Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video.
Oh shit!
Yo, you can actually.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Bryce back with another video. Today we are going to be going on a side quest of Doom.
Hello, ACT. We are landing into Naples Airport. We're flying from Fort Lauderdale. We're going 30 miles an hour right now. We have breast skills on board. Breast skills on board. We're gonna crash the plane. Mayday, mayday.
Oh shit! Oh shit! We got the right propeller going down.
No, he about to beatbox in there.
What? Oh no, he's just talking real dirty.
Oh, he's saying
Yeah, he's talking real. The bass.
That's what I thought he was All right, boys, everything goes good today. I'm Kalen. If anybody dies, my name's Zach. It's a pleasure to meet y'all.